Okay, so I've managed to get something perfect now that I gave myself time to figure out what I was trying to show you guys. So this is the most stable I can make it above my above my hertz on my 1080p monitor. So there's no reason for me to do any better than this, but it's the perfect mix of quality and speed, efficiency, kind of both, with the way that I have two AMD cards that are not the same running this game. And the way to do it is to delete the user folder, but don't delete the shaders. I wouldn't do that unless you just want to, but okay, just the user folder and set the set the height and width in a config file for StarCitizen to 16 by 9 if you've got a 16 by 9 monitor. In fact, I would do it just 16 by 9, okay? And then start the game in Vulkan. Make sure your Vulkan is in there too on the other thing. Start the game. You start the game. Uh, as soon as it starts up, close it out. Okay? And then change that number to double 16 by 9, which is 1800p, which is the number you see here. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to monitor to double what your monitor is for virtual VSR. So double whatever your monitor is, right? So then our step is between monitor is. In my case, it's just it's not very much, but that's the step. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to start the game up, double. You're going to have this on your native whatever your native monitor is. That's what you're going to have this on. And you're going to have this on borderless full screen 16 by 9. And you're going to StarCitizen double 16 by 9. And when you do, you're going to come in here and you're going to go to your native. Did you hear me? You're going to go to your native. And that'll be the best mix of speed and quality. This is with AA turned off by CIG. I mean, it's not pretty, but it's sharp. It's very sharp. See how sharp we are? And I'm on native 1080p. There is no way it would look like this normally. Okay, now I can turn theirs on. And it's sharp and it isn't sparkly, right? Very sharp for 1080. I'm just here to tell you, and my frames are good. They're acceptable, and none of them are generated. That's what's important. None of them are generated. Now I'm going to turn on their their FSR, their TSR, and now I have more frames than I can handle. And anything that I'm going to lose is going to be server-induced congestion, not necessarily. There might be places where it's badly optimized for just a solo person, but other than that, it will be server-induced congestion. You follow me? Now, you can play around with stuff and see if you want it to look better than that or worse than that. It's kind of going to go backwards than what you think if you start moving settings around and you leave everything else like I just showed you. So this is on two separate different types of AMD SAM GPUs. I mean, mostly you're using the second card to just be able to run anything in a memory space that's higher than 1080p. But if you've got multi-core CPU, it's gonna ask for things and throw things back and forth as it needs them to keep this multi-threaded thing going. Because even at native at 1080p with one card in there, I'd be tacked out right now, all the way, on one of them, all the way. And it would stutter all the time. There's watch. I'll watch. I'm recording as well right now. Keep that in mind. But I get 60 right here, 60 plus right here without the recording on, and it looks even better. It just won't have a lot of room to generate good frames if you have any lag from the server. It's, but it's playable. Oh yeah, and the other way is playable. Cause see, as you turn it up, you're not just slowing down. Like you're slowing down more than you think in what you do in most games. You're slowing down your ability to. I don't even know. It's so complicated the way they've done this, but it's very well optimized, or it has a lot of potential to be, and it seems like it already is a lot, very much so. Let's see if I can make it another way. Every single step that I have that's above native right now is lossless scaling without any other program. That's what it is. That's what this is. This is lossless scaling because they're because it's backwards. It's backwards. So the losses that we're seeing are thread bound, but they won't break anything. They just won't go faster than that, right? Which is very good. And alternatively, you can go the other way around, but then you're fighting it. You're fighting a different problem. The other way around would be to make make the game really low. You know, like you would with a typical game. Make the game as low as possible and step it up as much as possible. Um, or do the smallest step. I do 16 by 9 just to 1080p. I mean, that's not bad. I just don't like the fuzz. So what we've got here is the same thing, but one step between two higher resolutions and backstep through the game or backstep through the driver, one way or the other. Because we built the game on 900p, it's gonna it'll draw it'll draw anything you set this resolution to that a, is in the same common denominator of 900p. So there's no loss here to move it to the next one. What I mean is there's no loss in quality on my screen. That's what all that I was telling you before. No loss in quality in full screen. But there's loss in frame ability. You know, instead of lowering the lowering this down to where there's loss of quality to where you're losing information, okay, but you're gaining frame rate. But look how high it is, 75. I mean, we can get the same thing at native, right? So if we're going to use the step up, if we're going to use the VSR, if we're going to use the this not the not the VSR, but the RSR or the TSR that's available from the driver, we're gonna we're gonna we're gonna do the opposite of what it normally does. So we're gonna make the game so big it's twice as big as the screen, so we don't lose any information when we step it up from 900 the super resolution to 1080p. And the reason that you can't see no green dot is because I don't have it on, because I can't record with it on, or it'll mess up the frames, or it won't switch the things that I'm trying to show you. So and this is stepping it from 9 to 1080p. So the step up is actually just cutting down a little bit on the VSR, or vice versa. If you can look at it either way. But it's doing it in a different way because the VSR is quality. So I've kept all the quality, but essentially we're VSR in the other direction. So we're VSRing for the speed, and we're upscaling for the quality. But we're swapping the algorithms. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Did you see that? It was green for just a split second. Yeah, it's working. Everything like I just explained. Okay, I'm uploading this and giving this a fucking title screen.